Hello, welcome to Dragon Boat Dynasty, a podcast where I share my experiences in building, coaching, and scaling a Dragon Boat team. My name is Sean, and I'm the head coach of Agonaga Dragon Boat team with over 100 active members based in Malaysia. For past 2 years, right after COVID, actually we started even before 2020, but it was rather slow. We were just gathering ourselves and I guess restructuring a lot of stuff in the team after the departure of our first captain and coach. He was very integral in the team, so he held a lot of things, a lot of departments, a lot of crucial parts of the team. Upon his departure, we had to do a lot of restructuring and systematizing. We have been systematizing a lot of parts of the team because at that point, our ultimate goal at that point was actually to set a team up for scalability, sustainability, and eventually legacy as well. We started asking questions like, if we were to leave the team, right? Will the team be able to move on? What would it be? How would it become? And who will run the team? Who will lead the team? And in what manner will the team be led? So these questions has led to us starting to systematize the team. The problem with systematizing an organization is that if you go far enough, you will start to render yourself useless and redundant. As much as we hate to admit it, right? We all like to feel useful. We want to be part of an organization where we feel important, that without us, the organization will fall apart. And that's where most people stay for the rest of their lives. And that's where in organizations you find managers who kind of throw wrenches into perfectly working systems in order to save the day. And they feel that without them, the organization will fall apart and things like that. So there are things that sometimes we end up not liking to do, but we like the idea of this dependency, and we do it because we want to feel that importance, that power, and and that people depend on us. And when I started to push for systems in the team, I knew that one day I'll be faced with this final straw, right, that leaves me completely useless. And I think that time has come. So in the past 2 years, I've systematized the lineups, which means that where we put the paddlers in which boat. We have winning races and we have growth races. Growth races are the ones that we actually build the lineup very balanced, in the sense that all boats are balanced in terms of power, execution, and ability to perform, because that is the part where we actually teach, or we use these kind of small races to support the junior paddlers in order to gain more experiences and more knowledge. So the seniors are usually paddling with the juniors together. But then we have winning races where we focus on trying to push at least one boat as far as possible. So in these races, the lineup is very merit-based. In the past, we kind of get a feel of, okay, this person is good for this, person is good here, is good there. So we put them in these areas because we think they are good. So there's no proper transparency in terms of how we can justify why this person is in boat A and why this person in boat B. 2 years ago, I systematized the lineups with an assessment score sheet. So there are in total 100 points for them to score, and across various areas. By collecting points in all these places, it's not just performance, it's also contribution in the team, it's also attendance, it's many things, right? So by collecting all these points, they can make their way into boat A. So what this does is it gave the paddlers more transparency, in a sense that they now know what does it take to get to boat A. And if they lack in certain areas, they would seek help and they will get better. They will want to be assessed in terms of technique, and they will come for all these fitness assessments so they can collect points there as well. It's a good way to gamify the experience as well, so that they know how to, count the points, collect the points, and it helps push them towards more singular goal as opposed to just nobody knowing how it can be done. I've also offloaded a lot of technical and data to a big team that has in the past months been improving on the tracking system better than the version that I gave them. I mean, I am as good at Excel as a 5-year-old. So you get an idea of what kind of archaic kind of table that I can come up with. And we had all these GPSs, and then we can draft all the graphs. And I used to do all this sort of stuff myself, but I'm glad I was able to offload all this stuff to them. I was never very good at it. So these guys and girls are better at it. So, they love doing it. That's a good thing. I almost don't recognize the inner workings of the sheets anymore, but I trust that they're handling it well because the numbers are coming out fine and it's all good. I've also offloaded lineup formations to a team. So they are the ones who's building lineups. And although they still have a lot of things to learn about the intricacies of building lineups, the science behind it, why these things happen, why these things go here and go there, why do we build a lineup based on, why do people sit in row 3, 4, and 5, and why do we have to have lineups which have double engine instead of single engines, weight distribution, front and back and middle, those kind of stuff. They still have a lot to learn, but I think they're getting there very fast because now that they are faced with all these questions and all these situations, they know what question to ask. And because they know what question to ask, they know how to deal with these things. If they don't know what a problem is, they don't know how to solve that problem. They don't know what questions to ask. But now that they have a problem, they come to me with questions, and when I tell them, they'll be like, okay, now I understand why. The last part is what I've been doing single-handedly for the longest time. Actually, two of them. One is the weekly trainings, and another one is the technique training. This is one thing that I will take this entire season of 2024 to offload off to systems, to people. And starting this season, the paddlers will tell the steerers what they want to train, or the steerers will be provided with a sequence or a series of drills to do for that day. And once they learn how to do that, they learn how to command the boats and everything, then the paddlers can tell them, okay, today we want to train this area. And then the steerers will be, okay, these are the drills that are specific for these areas. Those are the drills for specific for those areas. And then let's run the drills. And then the paddlers and the steerers will have to communicate very closely to figure out like whether they are improving or not, what kind of results that they're getting, and how do they work to improve on certain things. So this is a very hands-on thing that I've been keeping my hand on for the longest time. Not because I don't want to let it go, but because I don't know how to let it go. It's a very custom thing. We can't provide a predetermined workout drill because if we do that and we announce the drill, some people might not turn up. I mean, this is the team we are in. If we announce that there's a lot of cardio that day, right? Those people who don't like cardio will not turn up. And if we tell that it's gonna have a lot of strength endurance, those people who don't like strength endurance will not turn up. And also, sometimes because we are training like between 50 to 40 paddlers at any given time, the physical ability and the mental ability of all of them it's this wide range of them. Just because one person or half of them can handle the drills, the other half can't handle it, we can't push, right? Because safety always comes first. And in safety means that if the other half is really struggling, we can either pull them apart and do a special drill for them, or we can tone down the drill. And then in essence, the ones that are there for a hardcore workout will not be able to get a hardcore workout. So that's the kind of intricacies we have to balance out. So offloading weekly training and technique will make the need for a coach standing in front to run the drills redundant. In that sense, that the paddlers will need to learn how to take care of each other. We'll have to learn how to run the drills and monitor the drills. So they have to learn how to communicate. And also in that sense that everybody will get to train. There are many uncertainties with this. I mean, we've never tried it before. I've done a lot of, simulations in my head. What if it goes like this? What if it goes like that? So that we can minimize the things that can go wrong. One great uncertainty is that the paddlers don't really know what they want. More accurately, each of them want something different from others. Some of them want to practice race start. Some of them want to do more strength endurance. Some can handle the pain. Some will avoid it at all costs. There's bound to be arguments and disagreements on what to train. And this is the part where a balance needs to be struck. And I guess we don't really need a moderator at this point. I guess we can just let them handle themselves. Nobody with a conch, if you know what I mean. And the balance will strike itself, I suppose, I hope. Another problem that may arise, which I think could arise, would be that paddlers may bully the steerers, and this would happen primarily to a more junior group of steerers. There are many senior paddlers who love to step on others to feel good about themselves. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, this is what they usually do. They would tend to like nitpick on small little errors that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, so they can appear smart and knowledgeable, so that people will turn to them and say, oh, you know a lot of stuff, and can you help me with this and that. But instead, people find that these people who actually nitpick and complain a lot and point out a lot of stuff, they are harming, or they are getting in the way of other people's training, and they also disrupt the training and often create a very negative space for those people who just want a space and a supportive area to learn. Well, but then again, people keep telling me that I'm just refusing to let go, right? I have been told that as well, and that the team will be able to handle itself if I step away. So maybe I'm just overthinking this, all these little things that can go wrong. Maybe I'm just overthinking this and I'm holding on to something that can already run by itself. We don't know for sure how this will turn out. Maybe it'll be bumpy. Maybe it will take off without a hitch, and I'm just overthinking it as usual. This will be the first season that we're trying this out, and I will check back with results hopefully by the end of this season, which is December, if the podcast is still running by that time, and update everyone to see if it works and what didn't work and what did we do to change it. And yeah, stay tuned. So that's all for this episode. See you in the next one. Bye.